Hey guys, real quick, before we start this vlog, I wanted to update you guys about the academy, the online academy. The online academy, real quick, people keep asking me this all the time. What's the difference between Foundations and the academy? Foundations is a curriculum. It is a course to learn the basics of haircutting, the foundations of haircutting, whether it's shear work, clipper work, and also the financials, making it a career. What the academy is mentorship. It is continued education. That's why that one's monthly. If you're part of the academy, you haven't logged in a while, we have a new Discord group. It's lit, it's dope. Like, the conversations are great. I love the Discord, and I'm happy that we implemented it to the academy. It just allows us to be able to communicate with one another much more easier. Also, we're now doing monthly giveaways in the academy. And this month, this is what we're giving away. Cordless Seniors, Eco Battery, not the Magic Clip, the senior one. So the giveaway is going to be random, but your odds of winning, your chances of winning go up depending on how active you are in the Discord group. So if you're part of the academy and you haven't done so, please log into the academy. On the homepage, very top, it'll say join Discord, and that's how you get in. Now, let's start the vlog. I wonder if that got sanitized before it was put back on the shelf. Once you touch it, you take it. Babe, what you buying? I feel like you should be required to wear gloves in the stores if you're gonna be touching products and putting them back. Alright guys, so I am outside of one of our locations, one of our barber shops. Let me show you guys something. So that's us. That's our logo. You can see Headlines Barbershop is our Gibsonton location. Somebody tried to break in here. Isn't that crazy? So while we've been, kind of waiting to see what happens with our shops, people are kind of trying to get in and steal stuff, I guess. I don't have keys, so I'm not gonna take you guys in, but I wasn't expecting to stop by. But I just wanted to show you guys the shop, man. How sad the parking lot looks, right? And there's a lot of people affected by this. I mean, if you look at the landlord who owns this building, they got a nail salon, a hair salon, and a barbershop right next to each other, all of which can't open. But every other business that's out there besides bars, clubs, and concerts, salons, and barbershops, every other business can open. Let's talk about that. So if you look at, this is the Headlines Barbershop app. If you look at that app, I'm gonna show you guys all of our locations. So you can see all of our locations on that map. And the one that we're at right now is this one right here. See that? That's our Apollo Beach Gibsonton location. And we're all over the Tampa Bay area. You can see, so if you're in Tampa Bay, you need a shop, holla at your boy in a few weeks. What's up guys? Yo, so I'm at my in-laws house, and I just want to tell you guys about what's going on, kind of update y'all. I do plan on vlogging some more, sharing kind of like the process with you guys, a little bit more behind the scenes. Obviously we're going to be pumping out all kinds of crazy tutorials as soon as this lockout is over, but I'm not cutting hair in the shop right now because the state won't let us. And so I kind of wanted to tell you guys what's going on, how I'm seeing things right now. I know a lot of you guys are not barbers, a lot of you guys just enjoy the channel for what it is, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. But I want to give you guys some insight of what's going on in my life today with all of this craziness with the stay-at-home orders here in the States and all that good stuff. So with that being said, guys, we are losing about $20,000 a month. Every single month we have to stay home, and it's been over a month now. Our local government, our state government has informed us that we'll be at stay-at-home orders for at least the next 2 weeks. And when all this started, when the stay-at-home orders started, I was for it. I was okay with with everything because there were plans being put in place, right? We had a stimulus coming. I knew my barbers would be out of work, but I was thinking they were gonna get help as well with this stimulus, and we would just have to wait it out and come back, and everything be as good as it was before. And as a matter of fact, I also saw it as one of those things where it's a gift and a curse, because some of these guys, man, some of our guys, they needed a break, and this was finally that break that they needed. People are spending more time with their families. You're getting time to think about, just self-reflect, right? It's good to have these breaks every once in a while. So I was trying to be positive about it, and I'm still positive about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to complain or anything like that. I've always tried to stay positive, and to be honest with you, financially, I'm going to be fine. I'm gonna be okay. But this isn't about finances for me. This isn't about me wanting to hurry up and create more content, because I can create content, I can get creative. It's more so about the principle of things. It's looking at it and being confused, and I feel for the barbers who aren't getting help. I feel for the stylists who aren't getting help, and they depended on this money and they gotta do other things. And here's why it's problematic for me. Here's why I'm having issues with what's going on right now. Here's my perspective and how I'm seeing things. So I'm going around stores and I'm seeing everything is allowed to be open, right? Phase 1, they're allowing pretty much everything to be open. The only thing that can't be open right now are bars, clubs, concerts, salons, nail salons, barbershops, and I believe like tattoo shops, right? And all right, sorry, my son, he needed to talk to me. What I was saying is, so you're going into the store and you're seeing the whole world has started their lives again. A lot of states here are not, and for good reason. I get it. When I'm talking generally Florida, right? That's where I am. That's where I built my businesses, and the decisions that Florida makes affects me the most, and my family the most, and my loved ones, and co-workers and all that good stuff, my team. It's tough, man. Like you're going out now, everybody's moving on with their life, businesses are opening, and sure, it's 50% capacity, 25% capacity. I just saw Disney's gonna open up at 50% capacity, phase 1. Restaurants are allowed to open, dining is allowed to be open as long as it's outdoor and it's 25% capacity. I showed you guys some footage and some clips of Walmart, like going into Walmart, going into supermarkets, going anywhere, any retail store. Like literally Gucci can open tomorrow. Gucci can open tomorrow. And I showed you guys clips of people, you can grab stuff from the shelves, put it right back. A minute later, somebody comes right behind you, grabs the same product, right? And there's hundreds of people in these stores. But what government is asking professionals, stylists and barbers who went to school for thousands of hours, 1,500 hours, 1,200 hours, some states it's 2,000 hours or more. We have to renew an HIV course every year. If you go to barber school, you're not gonna really learn how to cut hair, but they are going to teach you about sanitation, bacteria, and public safety, and state law. That's what school is when it comes to barbering, or when it comes to cosmetology. That's what it is. We are a group, we are an industry that's very competent on public safety and sanitation. You can come into a barbershop or salon and we can operate by appointment only, and we can make it to where in between each appointment we have 15 minutes to sanitize and sterilize all of our equipment. We can control the traffic and the environment. We can check people who come in and leave. The US government is asking us to go way above what our already safe guidelines are in order to convince them that we should be open like everybody else. Want us to wear gloves, face masks, shields. And I get it, but I'm no longer convinced that this is about safety anymore. Because if it was, why isn't everyone required to wear gloves when they go into a retail store or a supermarket? We are touching there are people who are walking up to produce, touching 5 avocados and putting them right back, and somebody is coming right behind them and doing the same thing. Is this really about public safety? If it was, I'd be okay with the current circumstances. But I feel like right now my profession, the license, the $20,000 that I spent to go to school, it's being disrespected. It's being disrespected by the same people who are asking us to get a license, who are asking us to renew our HIV course every year, who are supposed to, not even supposed to, they're the ones who have convinced us that a license is important to show how professional and how prestigious our industry is. But the people who are telling that don't even respect it, and they're making us open last. Not only are they making us open last, but they're helping us the least. Because you see, most stylists and barbers are self-employed. I'm sure you've been seeing the news, the Lakers getting stimulus, returning the money. Lots of large companies are getting stimulus and returning the money because the stimulus for small businesses, including self-employed individuals, dried up so quickly. And I'll give you an example. I own 7 barbershops, me and my partners. We applied for stimulus help, and when they first announced the stimulus, it was supposed to be like $10,000 guaranteed, and you were trying to get, when you were trying to get the PPP, you'd get the, like, I think it was like the EIDL or the PPP, I can't remember. This was a month ago. But when you applied, you were gonna get $10,000. Well, we applied, I got a hard pull on my credit, so it lowered my credit. When they approved it, they ended up changing it from $10,000 to $1,000. So what ended up happening is we got $1,000. We got $1,000 from the stimulus. My rent is $20,000 a month. Between all the barbershops, $20,000 a month. We're not even considering electricity and water. And people might say, hey, you don't have to pay electricity and water, you're not using it. That's not true. There's service fees, there's all kinds of other things that make up a water bill. And I'll give you an example. One of my locations, the water bill is usually about $200. I got the water bill this month. It was $129, and it was made up of service fees and sewage fees and things of that nature. We are not making any money at salons and barbershops. If barbers and stylists are not cutting hair, we don't make money. So the government has asked us to be competent, to be professionals, to know about sanitation, disinfecting bacteria, bloodborne pathogen diseases, airborne pathogen diseases, how to sterilize. They're asking us to know all this stuff, pay a bunch of money to get our education, renew our license every year, but they're telling us that a 16-year-old at McDonald's is safer than a barber and stylist. Some will say, hey, you can't maintain a 6-foot difference. Guys, look at this B-roll. Who's standing 6 feet away from one another? When you go up to a clerk, you're not 6 feet away. Disney is opening up at 50% capacity. You really think people are gonna be 6 feet away? My customers are gonna wear face masks, and they're gonna be required to. I'm gonna wear a face mask. I'm gonna be required to. My guys might even wear shields. I don't know. It's much safer than the current circumstances that are happening right now. And so if we're really doing this about safety, okay, then we're all in this thing together. If you want barbershops and salons not to open, well, damn, help us out with our finances. You're putting us in a situation where maybe not myself, because I can afford it. I can afford the expenses in the meantime, but there's a lot of barbers and stylists who cannot. There's people who are losing their barbershops and salons. There are people who are being forced to do house calls illegally in an environment they can't control. It is much safer to practice barbering and cosmetology in a salon or barbershop because it's a controlled environment. You know who's coming in and out. You can sterilize and sanitize everything in between customers. I don't know what's going on at somebody else's house. I don't have the controlled environment I would have in a professional environment. And then so again, if this is about public safety, then let's make it about public safety, man. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can feel my frustration and why I'm confused about what's going on. It doesn't help losing $20,000 every month that this is going on. And as of right now, what politicians have told us here in the state of Florida is they'll revisit it. For sure, we can't open for the next 2 weeks, but we don't know if we can open after that. I don't know, but I'm gonna be doing my part to try to make sense of it all, to try to educate, consumers and the public and our leaders. At this point, you got to make the best of the situation that you're in, and so that's my plan. That's what we gonna do, and I'm just hoping that we can make something positive out of this. And the content that I'm gonna be making in the future, I'm gonna hope to inspire you guys, and we come out of this, prepared and better than ever, man, ready to conquer. If you are a barbershop that's in a similar situation to me, or a salon that's in a similar situation to me, one of the things we did was we try to reach out to our landlords. And I know some landlords are going to be nice. Some are going to be like, yo, here's a link to SBA. That's your problem, not mine. And I can tell you that it's going to be very, very hard to be forgiven for this rent. So even if you're able to work something out with your landlord, chances are you're gonna have to pay somehow. Let's say your rent was $2,000 a month for a specific location. They might want $2,500 for the first 5 months or 4 months that you come back to work, but you're gonna owe the money. We need to start planning for that now. Now, for a lot of us, man, that aren't barbershop owners or that are barbershop owners, and we weren't prepared. We didn't plan for any of this. We didn't plan for a rainy day. That's okay, man. It happens. We all get in situations that I like to call learning experiences. It's one of those things that build you, that mold you. You know what I mean? I've been through 2 repos. I've been broke. I've lost, you know what I'm saying? Like I've failed at many things. But again, that's part of it. That's part of the process. And luckily, I became a barber in 2010 during the recession.
recession, I learned early, man, you gotta save money. You gotta have a rainy day fund. And I know a lot of people preach that, but there's so many different ways that you can apply these pieces of advice, these gems, right? Especially in 2020, man, there's apps that literally will save money for you. There's apps that are literally every single week, if you have it set up, will withdraw $20, $30, $50 to build up that rainy day fund. Take advantage of technology in 2020, man. I mean, I'm blessed to be in a situation where I can lose $20,000 a month. Me and my team, we can lose $20,000 a month. I'm still able to pay my bills. I'm still able to provide for my family. But I know there's people out there that can't. And I can tell you that I'm able to do these things, and I'm in a position where if a pandemic happens or another recession happens, I'm gonna be fine because I've always lived below my means. You know, like my cars are paid off. I drive a 10-year-old Corolla. My wife drives a 7-year-old Mercedes. We don't live above our means. And I could tell you that if I would have had the same mindset I had when I was 20 years old, today I probably would be the dummy trying to, you know, pulling out a Lamborghini or something. And then I'd be in a situation right now where I'm stressed out. You can't count on the government to help you. You can't count on nobody else but yourself and your inner tight circle. And sometimes, depending on how strong your circle is, sometimes you got to be the rock for your circle, right? So look, there's a few things I would suggest every barber coming out of this pandemic, coming out of this stay-at-home order, to really focus on.
But hold on, before we do that, I'm in front of, this was the first location right here. I don't know if you can see it where it says barber. Let's go inside, sit down, and let's talk. Damn, man, I miss the shop, man, the shop life. Yo, look at your boy. That was in 2012. Ah. Wow. Man, I can't wait till we can reopen this place. All right, so let's talk about this list. When I started my financial journey, my success journey, when I first started, man, I was broke. I was working at Arby's. My wife was working minimum wage at JCPenney part-time. She was pregnant. I was probably making like $10, $9.50 an hour. My wife was making minimum wage. I think at the time it was like $7 an hour. And we had real bills. I mean, I remember a time where my credit score was shot. Both mine and my wife's credit score was like in the 500s, you know. Scott payday advances was a bi-weekly thing in my household, and so we don't really come from much, man. I literally had to go to the school of the hard knocks. I had to get my poor man's MBA. I had to get my poor man's education on financial literacy, and I had to participate in my own rescue. I had to take control of my life and take ownership of my life and my future. And what I did was I started focusing on the things that make people financially successful, because I could find love without money. I can have an amazing family without money. There's a lot of things you can do without money, but the one thing I was missing was money. There's so many things you can do with money if you use it as a tool, especially when you got love, when you have happiness, when you're doing something you're passionate about. The things you can do in your life when you have those things and you have money, it's amazing in my opinion. Obviously, with anything, your intent with that tool is what you'll receive in return. I really wanted to live a life where I didn't have to worry about finances, where I could focus on the things that I love doing, the people I'm passionate about, and the things I'm passionate about, right? And so I put myself in a place where I got obsessed about educating myself on these topics. I wanted to learn how to build wealth. Not like Dave Ramsey, you know, retire at 70 years old and have $1 million, but you can only pull out 3% a year and live on that. We got one life, guys. For me, man, I wanted to learn how to build wealth and enjoy it in this life. And so I started studying that type of wealth building, not the ones we're taught by a lot of financial advisors or even schools, the slow way, 401ks, mutual funds. Not that I'm knocking any of that stuff, but that's not what I wanted for my life. So I started studying that type of wealth building, and I realized I needed to learn more about credit and how important that is, and leveraging other people's money, other people's time, learning leadership, learning how to speak to people, learning how to delegate and build a team, and not just build a team and lead, but how to be part of a team and how to take on a role that will elevate your team. These are all things that I feel like you
You have to constantly be investing in and into yourself in order to be successful little by little every single year. I learned about how to leverage the dollar, how to prepare myself for a rainy day. I learned about insurance and how important it is to get life insurance, because tomorrow ain't promised. And if you have a set goal, let's say you want to make sure your family tree is going to be different. You're going to leave something behind for your family tree, right? You can guarantee that by getting life insurance today. You know, I just wanted to be in a position where I can give my children's children the platform that they need to be as successful as they possibly can in their lifetime. And so those are the things I would say. How to build wealth in this lifetime, right? Start studying that stuff. Anything that covers that, books, podcasts, courses, anything, YouTube videos, like that's all I consume. That's more important to me. I want to know my stats. That's more important. My stats are more important to me than LeBron's. That's how I've always operated the past 10 years. I've been obsessed with it. I want to learn how's everybody traveling, and not traveling on a budget, but traveling and experiencing everything that I can. How do I do that without putting myself in a position where if a pandemic happens, I can't, I'm gonna lose everything because I've been living above my means, right? There's ways to do that, and there's ways to do that anyone can do. And then I wanted to have freedom, financial freedom. I wanted to put myself in a position where I don't have to trade time for money anymore, and that was so important to me. And I learned that the way you do that is through businesses, systemizing, and through passive or residual income. And so I got obsessed with figuring out how to make passive and residual income. A lot of you guys have been sitting home for the last 2 months, 1 month. Probably been playing a lot of Call of Duty. Probably been doing a whole lot of stuff, but you're not gonna come out of this stay-at-home order any better or any different or any better prepared to get yourself to the next level, so you're not in this situation again. And so, I don't know, maybe you guys watch this vlog and you think the vlog is stupid. There's not a lot I can do right now because everything is closed. But I guess the goal of this vlog right here was to give you guys an update on what's going on with me behind the scenes, but also make it a learning lesson for you guys so that maybe you're a little bit better after watching this. I guess with that being said, man, I'm out. Those are licenses. Those are licenses that need to be renewed every year. Alright, well, and with that being said, guys, got at least another 2 weeks for these doors to be closed. Sucks. What are your thoughts? You know, what's going on with your small business? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Give me some ideas what you want to see for vlogs and stuff. If you like this one, please do smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We got tutorials, everything barbering, the entrepreneurship side. And I just want to coach you guys through your careers, learn how to cut hair, maybe new styles. I don't know. The channel's got a lot of things going on. Either way, we're going to be continuing to try to drop some valuable content. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next video.